Good morning. My name is Mike Lozano, and I am standing here at what used to be my favorite homebrew store, the Brew Hut in Aurora, Colorado. I'm standing here with Steve, the general manager of the Brew Hut. And Steve, what the heck happened to the store?
We basically outgrew this space, and we've been outgrown here for a couple of years now.
By outgrown, you mean what? Just too many people, not enough space?
And too much stuff as well.
Weren't you already like the biggest homebrew store in Colorado?
We think so, based on what we've seen of the other homebrew stores.
Okay, how big was the space that you had before?
This entire space was 1,800 square feet, and we had basically been reduced to two-thirds of that by the expansion of our sister business, Dry Dock Brewing.
So now with the new space, I'm assuming there's a new space. Is that correct? You've moved into a new space?
Oh yes, we didn't put all this stuff in my garage, that's for sure.
You could have put it in my garage. I would have let you do that. So tell us about the new space. Where is it and how big is it?
Well, the new space is just a couple doors down here, and it is about 3 times as big for both businesses.
For both businesses. So how much of that was allocated to the Brew Hut?
I still got a big share, about 3,000 square feet.
Can we go take a look?
Certainly we can. We should pan around here first to show people what you could do with a small space.
Oh boy, let's take a look.
So this is the new Brew Hut space right here. Come on around, let me show you. Pardon the chaos. Yesterday we had approximately 100 people come and help us move. We had the standard bribery for moving crew, we had beer, we had food, and we made t-shirts for everybody as well. Over 125 people ultimately showed up to help us move. We moved both the brewery and the homebrew store in 63 minutes. People just pick stuff up and carry it over. So pardon the chaos over here, but at least give you a sense of the space. Over here, we're going to have our wall of wine. So these will be all the various wine kits we have once we straighten it out and sort them out. So we'll have all the wine kits from Wine Expert. If you're a wine person, if you're a beer person, well, come on back here. This is what we think we're going to call Graintopia, because we added 15 grains that we'd never carried before. It's things like Caristan and pale chocolate as opposed to regular chocolate malt, ESB malt from Gambrinus. And then all of these will be dispensed in these handy, well, I'm not even sure what to call them, the gravity bins. So it's going to be as simple as taking one of the tubs on the shelf with the digital scale, tearing the weight back to 0, and then going for, let's see, black patent, what, 4 ounces in a standard 5-gallon batch. Let's see, move it over here, re-tear it, half a pound of chocolate, a little bit of Crystal 60, and we're on our way to something stoutish, maybe a porterish. Down here we're going to have, ultimately, once we get it assembled, 2 mills with all the base grains right there as well. We're looking forward to really speeding it up. Our customers have been so patient. In our old space, it was such a tight little place that we'd sometimes have folks queued up 4 and 5 deep just to get grain. Over here, the obligatory homebrew store bookstore, where I think we've got just about everything. Well, it looks like I'm out of How to Start Your Own Brewery again. That's the Brewers Association publication on how to start your own brewery. And every time I get a few copies in, at $85, they fly off the shelves. Down here, the refrigerators, all the hop stuff. And here towards the back door, it's a mountain of unsorted stuff. There's a reason I'm drinking coffee this morning, and that's because it was a long night last night at the opening day party because when you have 125 volunteers, you get all their work done in an hour. What does that leave? About 10 hours for them to celebrate. Over here, the front counter is somewhere buried under all of this. I think I see it. Yeah, I think this is going to work out. We've got all this wall space here that we're going to be able to hang all the posters and the decorations and signage. It's pretty exciting. Next, though, we're going to go over to the Dry Dock Brewing Company.
So I'm going to go to Fox, get what we need.
Where previously we had 10 taps through the wall with 1 nitro, over here we're going to have 16 faucets and a hand pump and a nitrogen faucet. And going from the little tiny space that we had, this seems like roomy paradise. Our seating capacity is tripled, and with the new brew house behind me, we'll be able to make at least 3 times as much beer. We should be able to push 2,000 barrels a year once we get everything up and running. And of course, on the new system, then all the fermenters will be glycol jacketed, which is something I want to have at home too. Okay, and now we're going to go take a look at the new brewery. So this here is the pub standard 7-barrel system. Both the mash and the lauter have rakes in the bottom, so we can do all the interesting step mashing that we want. We could start at 96 for the acid rest, go to 122 for the protein rest, and then on up into any of the variety of the saccharification ranges. So let's all just dial and control and set it up and go. And then it's all pumped here, so all we do is just control the switches to go from one to the other and back and forth. Down here are our rows of fermenters. We have 3 barrels and 2 14 barrels. One of the 14s is on its way. And these are all glycol jacketed, so we can dial them in, control any ale temperature, and of course crash them down to freezing for lagering if need be. Here's the jockey boxes from yesterday's party draining out. And this is a nice relic over here. Currently sitting on furniture dollies in the middle of the back of the brewery is the original Dry Dock bar. 16 feet long. We had 9 chairs here. And out of that brewery last year, we sold almost 500 barrels of beer. Back over here is the cooler. The cooler itself is amazing. It's about 40 feet long, 20 feet wide. And it's really loud because we're cleaning in here. But it's nice and cool after the summer Denver. So currently we have our serving tanks over here. I'm going to close the door behind us, let all the cold out. Currently we have 6 7-barrel serving tanks and 2 14s. We're going to add 4 more 7-barrel serving tanks and 2 more 14s, and then everything will just be plumbed straight through here out to the taps on the front.